Well, hello. Hopefully this is working. This is my first time streaming to YouTube, so fingers crossed. Let's get back into it. So I just got raided by, or manhunted by a bunch of caribou. So we're sort of just picking up the pieces after that right now. So yeah, that's where we're at. It's winter's coming up pretty soon, so we're trying to get some rice in storage, and we're getting to the point where we're getting our ship going, research-wise. We've pretty much almost everything researched, except the two most difficult ones, of course. Starship Reactor and Johnson Tanaka Drive. So, we're going to basically be repairing up the damage done by these caribou, and then we're going to be moving on to research and maybe clean up the base a little bit, stuff like that. I wanted to show you guys my horseshoe base. If you look closely, actually, this is not, you can get through this part. So this isn't actually walled off. And the kill box is actually in the middle of the base for me. And I find that this is a way to tackle tunnelers. So about a year ago, or maybe longer, the game updated so that when you get raided by people, they'll come at your side walls and tunnel through the side walls, as opposed to coming right up into your kill box every time. And so it made things more challenging. That's why I started building a U-shaped base, and it's getting kind of fatter out here. So this is kind of ridiculous for me, that this extra part here normally wouldn't exist. I would just build a thinner U. But it sort of worked out that way. This base actually worked out really, really well for me this round. And eventually we're going to build our starship sort of right in the heart of it by moving down a wall to about here. And we're going to clear out this whole area, and we're going to build a starship. Hopefully it can fit in there. So we'll look at like the structural beam. So it should be able to fit. Well, maybe not. We'll see. That's a tentative plan. But in the meantime, we're just going to keep chugging away. It's the first time I've streamed to YouTube, so I'm excited about that. I just wanted to see if it worked. And right now, I'm not exactly sure if the sound's okay, so shout it out in chat if you're watching out there and the sound sounds okay. I'm looking for some feedback. But like I said, winter's coming. We're going to have to shore up our food supply. We got a lot of meat already. We're doing fine for food, really. We'll be able to last probably a couple years at this point. Alright, let's keep going through it. So, Boba has an infection in her leg. Infection at 44%, immunity at 85%, so pretty much assured that she's not going to succumb to the infection here. So that's good. And yeah, it's looking really good. I think this might be my longest lasting base I've ever had. It's really, really deep into it. I think we're in year 11 or 12 even, maybe. 600 days makes up 10 years, because each year is 60 days. So 750 days is like 12 years. So that's a really long game. And I like to play the game super long. I play it with I play it on Naked Brutality, but with a tribal tech tree, so that it basically, it takes a really long time to get anything done. Like, for example, the Starship reactor would normally cost you 6,000 research points, but because I'm at a Neolithic level, it cost me 12,000, so double. So everything was double, basically. That was beyond the electricity point. I think some of these more primitive ones didn't cost me anything extra. I can't really remember, but everything after the... you can see here, when this little blurb shows up, it means that it took you way longer because you started off on a weaker tribal tech level rather than a crash landed normal tech level. But that's more fun for me. It makes me appreciate the technology better, and it really forces you to really learn the earlier game when you play the tribal setting. So like Pemmican, for example. Where are you, Pemmican? Here you are. So Pemmican is vital to surviving an early game when you don't have electricity. And now that I've done it so much, I kind of don't need electricity. You kind of adapt to it, but now that I have electricity, it's nice to have the walk-in cooler and all that stuff. So we're going to just keep on going here. I don't have any manual priorities set up, because I really agree with this cascading. I think that this is set up pretty well in terms of priority. Oh, something happened. Oh, somebody got food poisoning. Uh-oh. So I like to set up my cooking area kind of isolated. The first go around on this base, I had my cooking area right here, and so people kept walking right by it. And you want your cooking area kind of away from the traffic, the normal traffic, because people will drag in all types of terrible things like mud and blood and all this stuff, dirt. And if that's around your cooking area, you'll get food poisoning. Actually, as it stands right now, we're out of fine meals. So yeah, glad to get this stream going. Glad to start it out. I've been meaning to stream on YouTube for a while. I just really wanted to get it done, see if it worked. And I'm really glad I've done that now. So that's good news. I normally stream on Twitch, though. And I hope to put a link somewhere. I haven't really figured out too much about YouTube yet, where to put links. But same name, you can find me on Twitch as well. And that's where I normally stream. But I want to try this one out. It's good to diversify your bonds a little bit. So we have our guys. So what I was talking about before is that I like the this is a good like step down in priority. So the first thing you want to do is obviously put out fires, and then this, that. And so after you play like this for a while, you can kind of see where you're at. Like right now we're about here, and so our peasants, when they're done. Well, you know what? We should really stop growing at this point. It's pretty late in the season, so we're gonna turn sowing off. So now it should be off on all of them. Yeah. So our dudes are gonna be going from here to mining, plant cutting, and we're gonna start to see them cleaning and then kind of not doing anything. And that's when I know I gotta add some more jobs to the list. And when I'm asking myself which jobs do I want to... Oh, jeepers creepers. We got a cold snap coming in. It's about the right time for the cold snap, though. It shouldn't be a huge deal. So yeah, let's speed through the night. Bedtime is a strict 10 p.m. in this colony. So we'll kind of just chill out. They're going to be waking up soon. Oscar somehow is already awake. Ooh, very good, a raid. So, what are we working with here? Looks like it's a tribal raid, 31 peeps. Alright, looks like it's going to be a good old-fashioned slog. I want to involve my I have enough animals now where I can set some of them to fight for me. And so I basically put them right down here in this area. I call it the goat area because I used to use goats for this purpose, but then all my goats died. So we're going to go ahead and put, let's see, what do we want to put down there? Maybe we're going to throw some male chickens in here because the male chicks and chickens, they're not really good fighters, but I kind of don't want them around, as messed up as that sounds, because you only need like 1 or 2 male chickens to impregnate all the females, and at that point they become kind of superfluous. So we have a couple roosters here, so we can just kind of send some of the male younger chicks. It'll just kind of use up a slot. Like they'll swing one time at a chicken, not at my peasants. So another thing we want to, so our alpaca horde is looking pretty strong, so we'll put the second female alpaca in goat position. Our boomalopes we leave alone because they blow up and then they burn everything down. And then we'll put our second female as well. Then we're going to put all the other animals in the, in our little hiding area, basically. The purple hiding area. So that should be good. Now we're going to recruit all our dudes here. And as we go, we're going to put them in the right position. So put Oscar down there. Oops. Are they attacking right away? Oh, they're sappers. So we're going to see how good the sapper, my horseshoe-based defense against the sapper. If everything goes well, they're going to come right up into the kill box, regardless of the fact that they're a sapper. Because I think that the way that the calculation goes, this is sort of calculated as the middle of the base, and so they're like, oh, we can just go right to the middle of the base right here. Why tunnel? So that's my theory. We'll see if that plays out how I said. It might not. Porpoise. Oh, this person doesn't have a gun, so we got to get them strapped up. And I'm going to put my snipers in the back and my assault rifle people in the front. This person's got food poisoning. But it could be I do all this and then they just go and attack a different part of the base, so this might be all for naught. That's alright. That's looking good. Alright, let's see where they're at. So here they're coming up here. We'll see how this goes. Oh, I need more traps over here. That's one thing I missed. That's right. Let's see how it goes here. If this goes well, we're going to get a couple new prisoners out of this. And my population has been whittled down recently a little bit, so that'll be super helpful. Ooh. No one likes that. Here we go. So far, so good. Looks like they're now getting to the first turret. They're not attacking the animals at all, which is interesting. Look at them, they're just kind of all stuck in a line. That's the first time I've ever seen that. That's interesting. Oh, they took out one turret. Oh, and see, there's a tunneler, so it wasn't exactly right. We do have one tunneler coming up here through this way. I actually have some pretty valuable stuff in this room, so we're going to have to watch that. But other than that, things are going pretty well. Oh, and there they go, they broke. Alright, so one thing we want to do, we want kind of more prisoners than that, but we do have one prisoner, so we'll take advantage of that and grab a scorpion. I was kind of hoping for more prisoners, but that's okay. We're going to send out, let's undraft most of our dudes. Maybe one of these guys will get somebody here. Nope. This person's a psychite addict, which isn't horrible, but it's not ideal. There's one. So 2 prisoners is good. And let's take a look at what happened to that other prisoner that I just captured. Here we go. Ooh, that's not good. Oh, one of my male chickens died. That's okay. Raid's done. One of these cold snaps is new. Food binge is done. Animal starvation, that's something we can deal with, so we'll set all our animals back to the grazing area. Looks like we have some training we can do. And I'm just trying to whittle down this list over here. Infection, how's that infection looking? Probably, oh, developed, so we're good. Major break risk knock, probably because of the food poisoning. Yep. Intense pain 15. Cool. More food poisoning. I've been doing pretty well with food poisoning thus far. Made me pretty bad recently. So, this is actually on my other map. I have another map that I've been trying to build, but everybody died, so... And I don't want to just kind of cancel this this colony because I put a lot of work in with the floors, you can see. That's all that's left. And I also have a bunch of plasteel, 400 something, and some blocks, 500 blocks, and some steel on the map. So there's sort of everything I already need on this map to keep building it. But I have decided to go with the ship on this map, so I'm just sort of on the fence about whether I should get rid of this map or not yet. So that's why I'll see that, the toxic fallout just hit, but it hit on this map. And if you zoom in super close, you can see the irradiated particulate falling down, which is really cool. So toxic fallout is no fun. It'll kill off all the animals on this map, actually, over time. You're going to see the toxic waste start to build up. We could probably pop back to this mega sloth here later and see that's happening. And actually, we just got done with the toxic fallout on this map a couple months ago. One thing for toxic fallout that helps is building roofs around the perimeter of your base. You can kind of see them here. Because especially if you put flagstone down, your peasants will really kind of hug the side of the building. Oh, I just want to remember to build this back. But you saw that what happened was we got raided by the tunnelers, and most of them just went right into the kill box anyway because of the horseshoe base design. Cargo pods. Wrong map, though. Pemmican, though. That's a shame. Need warm clothes. 4 of them. So, I don't think they really need warm clothes. It's just that there's a cold snap. So yeah. Also, we got the soundboard hooked up. Let's see what that looks like here. Let's play one of the songs. Ooh. Also, I want to know if this gets flagged by YouTube. This song's actually from the YouTube audio library. So that'd be funny if it was. Alright, here we go. So this is being built. A lot of corpses. A lot of corpses to deal with here. So, I'm probably going to assign one of my dudes to actually start doing that. I like to build a crematorium kind of right off of where the kill box is, so they don't have to go very far. In fact, this is the thing that's wrong with my base right now. I should have put this cooking room on this side so that they could easily come in and out from the harvest area to dump the vegetables. So right now they have to go up and over and around. It's not that big a deal, but it would be slightly better. So that's one thing I'm going to do better on the next horseshoe base. And we got to build another turret. So we lost a turret in that, which is a shame. But we did gain 2 potential new people, which is really good. Reduce resistance and reduce resistance. Taking a look at them, this scorpion will be easy to convert with the remaining resistance of 11, recruitment chance of 29%. These numbers are all higher. 28% difficulty, 56% difficulty. So Trotrone, which is a hilarious name, she will be harder to get to join us. So all right, we'll deal with that as it comes. What can you do? You have to try. You gotta try. Here, I'll play my try video.
Trying is the first step towards failure.
That's right. Trying is the first step to failure. Alright, so we're getting our corpses done-ish. I like to burn... Ooh, wow, steel longsword. That's pretty sweet. We have a plasteel longsword, though, so... We kind of got a cooler sword going on. Let's grab this Psychite tea. Get that out of there. Also, Andrade probably needs a break from the corpses, yep. So we'll set somebody else on corpse duty. Probably this Jensen character. Looks like Jensen's building the steel turret, so we'll leave that be. I also wanted to build more traps, because they basically ran through all our traps. Oh no, that's one of our guys, so he's going to be going at this wall. The best thing to do when you're being, when you have this situation of someone who's going to attack the wall. Oh, they might attack this person. I didn't think about that. Oh god. Okay, so we'll go in and try to stave that off. Oh, what's going to happen now that they're downed, actually? Let's do a science experiment. So now they're going to go for the door, right? So what I do for this is I'll hold it open, and then I'll open it, and then have my dude run away, and let him get out of the door area. You don't want to fight him one-on-one, you want to fight him one-on-two. And that's the point of what I just did there. Just so I can... If he's in here, I'd fight him with two guys, but if he was up here, I wouldn't be able to do that. So we're going to capture Scorpion again, and capture Trotrone again. Oh, actually, yeah, that's good. Put him in a different room. Yeah. I have plenty of prison rooms. No need to double up. So that's taken care of. Rocco Breno is... Oh, just bruises. He's fine. So back to this warm clothes issue. So this is going to drop off, actually, because it's just because it's a cold snap. That's a thing. So, just to give you a little idea there, looks like we're running out of wood a little bit, so we'll put in a order for Chop Chop. Just going to grab some of the more mature wood around, yeah. That'll help. B for go ahead and bust up that tree. So I'm trying to only harvest the ones that are ready to harvest, but sometimes you're going to get ones that aren't fully done yet. No big deal. They just don't have quite as much yield. There's a big one. Alright, that should do it with our wood. Oh yeah, traps. So I find that the best traps are actually steel traps, because they pack a big punch and they're fast to build, as opposed to the stone traps, which are quite lengthy. The thing about stone... I'm going to build a couple stone traps anyway, though. The thing about stone traps is that it uses the right kind of materials. You want to be using up your stone, because stone is very plentiful, especially on like a map like this, where we're in a half... It's a mountainous terrain, so there's a bunch of mountains to dig up. We've been getting hit with some serious infestations up in this piece. This has been the playthrough of infestations for me. I've gotten way better at dealing with infestations now. I used to be kind of terrified of them, but now I kind of know what to do. I've even seen people on the tribal, or I'm sorry, there's the ice sheet. I don't know if you've ever seen people doing ice sheet, but you'll see that. And these people actually, there's no way to get food, and so what will happen is that they'll get an infestation, and they'll be like, yes, because when the bugs are asleep, you can go in there and grab the insect jelly, and the insect jelly is like pemmican, except it never goes bad, so it's even better. Except you will get food poisoning if you eat insect jelly raw occasionally, so it's not a foolproof one, but it's kind of like a survival meal. It won't ever go bad if you keep it indoors, out of the rain. So insect jelly is a great thing. The reason I'm not collecting this insect jelly, though, is because when the new infestation happens, I want to be ready to go with with a bunch of detritus all over the floor, so I can just light it on fire and burn it. Feel me? So that's what we're waiting on that for. But yeah, that went pretty well. We have 2 new prisoners. That's exactly what we were hoping to get. Oh, we're starting to lose our stuff here, so I'm going to actually force them to harvest this stuff. Devil Strand. This is the first harvest of Devil Strand I've gotten. Oops. And I think that it's not even nearly ready. No, 70% done, so I planted this a long time ago, too. So it just kind of is what it is. I needed more time with it. Devil Strand's a good thing to do indoors with a hydroponics bench, I think. Or at least using rich soil. Oh, here we go, another raid. Oh, so this raid's going to be on my other one, so we don't have to worry about it. It's probably just one dude. Yep. So I want to actually force this stuff out. We're going to get Albert to do that. Well, maybe we'll let him feed the meal to the prisoner first. Still having some food poisoning problems here. That's not good. And okay, so now we're going to have Albert. Oh, looks like somebody else got to it. So we're going to see how much Devil Strand we got. Looks like not even really enough to make a hat. But that's okay, I was just kind of experimenting. Anyhow. So not the end of the world. Bring it inside what we have. If I'm not mistaken, Devil Strand's actually pretty expensive if you want to sell it. So market value 5.5. I think that's around the same thing as like guinea pig fur. I don't think I have any guinea pig fur right now, but guinea pig fur and chinchilla fur actually is even more profitable. And I think thumbro fur too is the different leathers and furs have different value. They have different there's different reasons to use different furs. For example, camel hide's really good for cowboy hats and dusters for dispersing heat, but heavy fur is really good for the cold. Like a heavy fur parka is good, and a camel hide cowboy hat and duster is good. But you could make a heavy fur cowboy hat if you wanted, you know. There's nothing stopping you, really. Get that corpse out of there. And oh yeah, so the traps. So I'm going to build some limestone traps and then some steel traps. The reason I'm not just doing exclusively steel traps is because steel seems to be a resource that I eventually start to run out of. And especially when you're in your late game. At this point, I've taken down most of the steel mines. I've mined up pretty much all the steel that I've found. I've found a couple new ones over here and over here. So I know that there's still a lot of steel on this map. But eventually I'm going to mine out all the steel, and then I'm going to need steel for components and steel for all this stuff. Steel is one of those things, it's like wood. You burn through it. Especially now, they added this thing where the barrel durability goes down, so the more you use your turrets, the more you need to, like this one right here, someone needs to come along with some steel and put some steel into it, and then this barrel durability will go back up. So to maintain your turrets, it costs steel now. So I don't know how new that is, but it's definitely, that didn't used to be in there. But I've actually moved away from turrets. I think turrets are sort of, I find that if you understand better how to actually fight, it does way more for you. And so by that, I mean getting them at the right range with the right kind of weapon, as well as making sure you're behind cover. That's why I always build sandbags right in front of these doors here. But the idea is that you want to have a door that they can go and hide behind if they are looking like they're going to be downed within the next couple shots. You can pull your pawn back inside, and then the door will shut, and they'll be safe, theoretically. So that's why I do this kind of kill box middle area, the middle of the U, or the horseshoe or whatever. That's the point of that. But yeah, things are going pretty well, actually. This is probably one of the strongest builds I've had. And I like to really pack the whole base together. There's sort of a push. I noticed the game tried to make a push to make you have your bases more like modular, like have individual rooms and stuff like that. But I find it's more difficult to heat, and it's also more difficult to defend against manhunter pacts if your base isn't a seamless amalgamation, essentially. So when you're hit with the manhunter pack, you can then, oh, we want to get rid of that. You can then forbade all of your out-facing doors. Forbid right here. Or allow, I guess. I don't know, F for forbid. That's why I remember it. So if you tick all of your outermost layer of doors off, then you can just hunker down inside, and you don't have to babysit your pawns. If you don't forbid them, somebody's going to wander out, and then all of the caribou are going to get them here. Well, last time it was yaks, but this time it was caribou. So I think I almost got full party wiped by a manhunter of caribou or elk. I can't remember what it was, but it was like a large grazing creature, and they actually they downed every single one of my colonists. So manhunter pact. And this is after I had dispatched a whole bunch of sieges and mech raids and all this stuff. It was a manhunter pack that brought me down. But I got saved by a... I just want to show you guys in the population graph. I got saved. This was it. It was the great die-off. 19 to 11. And this was a full party wipe. All my dudes were down here. And I got saved by a men in black. So I don't know if that's ever happened to you guys, but occasionally all hope will be lost. And if you don't give up, even then, the game will reward you and be like, okay, I can see that you're that you're in this for the long haul. We're going to send in a men in black. So the men in black comes, and they have their sweet-looking cowboy hat and stuff. They have a little revolver. And I was able to save the entire colony. Well, not the entire colony, but I was able to save half my guys. Keep it going. So yeah, like I was saying with these stone spike traps, it takes considerably longer to build. But it costs stone, not steel. And wood is good too. Wood is replenishable, but the problem with wood is that the trap actually isn't that powerful. So the stone and the steel one really pack a punch, which is why I usually go for them. And I don't do the snaking tunnel of traps. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. It's fine. It's just kind of not my thing. I do this, however, though, where I space my turrets out one apart as opposed to the 4 apart like you need. So if one of these... It used to be that the turrets would blow up, and I think they still do. I'm not sure why they blow up sometimes and don't other times, but if you put a stone wall in between them, that'll disperse the explosion, and it won't cause a chain reaction of explosions. So you can have the turrets packed in quite close together, and not blow them all up in a chain reaction by doing this. So it's probably old news to most of you. Let's get that psychite tea inside. So we're onto the building trap phase. One thing I noticed about Heal Root really is very, I don't know exactly where it says it. It's sort of min growth temperature, but that's not it. They're very resilient to low temperatures. So you'll see it's definitely a cold snap right now. We're approaching 0 degrees Fahrenheit. And the only plants left are these heal roots, because they like the cold. It's weird. You won't find heal roots in jungle areas, but you will find them in temperate areas, which is why I think temperate area is the most survivable area, especially early on. Because early on you don't have any access to medicine except for what you can trade or what you can pick. And heal root actually grows in wild. Here we go. Here's some wild heal root. It grows wild in temperate zone. I think it grows wild in the boreal zone as well. I'm not sure about the tundra, but I know the jungle doesn't have, and not just the jungle, the arid shrubland and arid shrubland might have it. I can't remember. But deserts and shrublands and jungles and the hot area regions, they don't have heal root growing naturally. So if you're going to be doing my playthrough, it's pretty difficult. But I definitely do it. I randomly select my landing location. So I've played this type of build in all of it. I can't survive the extreme desert worlds. I do a random world too, so the world is random in terms of climate and how wet it is. So sometimes you get a Tatooine and you're like, oh my god, and you really just can't do anything about it. Your character just overheats and dies. But you can survive regular desert, just not extreme desert. Regular desert has cacti that you can chop down and you can make a cold shack, which is what I call a tiny wooden shack with these passive coolers. You start with this technology if you do tribal. So tribal it's harder, but you start with a couple things that you wouldn't start with normally. Passive cooler and pemmican, for example. Passive cooler is actually really helpful. Oh, looks like we ran out of... Oh no, solar flare. So we got an idle colonist now. So Lee can't do anything because she is the researcher, but we can't research because there's no electricity. So when solar flares happen to me in late game, it's sort of, I just do nothing basically for a while. Let's see if we can, in the meantime, smelt weapon. I wanted to smelt some of these melee weapons. I think we are going to go about doing that eventually. So I'm going to unforbid these when... I'm going to allow these when the solar flare goes away. But yeah. Things are going really well in this build. So I've thought about streaming to both Twitch and YouTube, but I think in the end, it's better to give the attention to one. Because I think I'm going to miss people chatting in Twitch if I'm doing... Oh, look at all these marmots. So another thing is you want to attack the small animals. I know that seems like counterintuitive, but like, why would I want to waste my time? But that's how you get good at shooting. Oh my god. Get Boba a better gun than that. If they're small, the target is small. Or maybe this... Ah, god, my guys are just... It's just so late in the game that they're all good at shooting. But normally they'd miss a lot. And it's because the target's small. And because they're missing a lot, that's what gets your skill up, is by shooting. So they end up shooting 3 times as much. So hares, rats, all those little guys, they're good to hunt. they have more meat than you think. You can get 4 fine meals out of a rat, something like that. It's different for every rat. Some of them are fatter, but yeah. Ooh, that's not good. So this is a bad area to get a fire in, because it's so, I don't want to, it's kind of deep and it's insulated a little bit as well, but my guys got to it quick enough, and also it's just cold enough inside as it is that and it was a big room. But if that happens in a tiny room and it's deep inside your base and you don't deal with it right away, the air can get so hot that your people are burned as they're trying to put it out. It's actually how I take care of infestations. I like to give them heat stroke. So I pile a big wood pile up here, then I shoot an incendiary fire thing on it. And it gets the temperature up hot enough in this chamber. But it has to be indoors first, so most of the time when an infestation happens, you kind of have to just note where it is so that for next time you can be ready for the heat stroke defense. Oh, looks like I lost all of my power. Okay. It's a solar flare anyway. There's that solar flare ending, good. So it's almost nighttime. We're actually going to run out of power real quick into the night. But I don't think I actually have to do anything about that. I think that's fine. We're just going to let it roll. One thing I could do is turn off all the lights. I could turn off... There's some other stuff using up power that I don't really need. But yeah, this is going pretty well. So pretty soon we're going to build the ship and get out of here. It's not going to happen in this stream, but it will happen. Basically, I've done everything I want. I did want to experiment with Devil Strain a little bit, but that's fine. It's not a huge deal. This time was really about learning infestations and how to beat them, and I definitely did that in spades. So I've definitely gotten much better at this game this round. I also answered some questions about, like, I had about incendiary launchers and certain questions I had about, like, different fabrics. Heavy fur is sort of my go-to cold wear now. Oh, a healing enhancer. I wanted to put that in someone. So we'll have to figure out who we want to give surgery to for this healing enhancer. It's a new item I'm not too familiar with, but it speeds up the way how fast you heal. So that's super useful. So, not sure who to give it to. I might give it to the leader. Old Albert. Looks like we have an unfinished duster. There's no reason we can't finish that up. Just want to make sure that Andra's the one who does that duster, even though it is late. There we go. boy. Holding the shift button, we can queue up a job. So after Porpoise is done feeding, she'll clean. Makes it easier to recruit the prisoners if you clean their room. Now Porpoise speaks of unity and friendship. One thing I love about this game, they added this in where you can actually see what they're saying. So Porpoise expresses interest in Trotrone's usefulness. You seem like you'd be good at researching Trotrone. Yes. Clean up even more. Clean up even more. So now if we go to Trotrone and we look at the beauty bar, yeah, so the beauty bar is way up high now. And that'll help in the, I'm not sure which statistic it helps, but it makes as you're recruiting them, it makes their recruitment difficulty, what's it called exactly? It makes this number, their resistance, go down faster if their room is nice. So for those of you who like to build tiny holes in the wall for your prisoners, I respect it, but you're hurting yourself actually. Give them a good room and then they'll be a faster. I get it though, you want to make your prisoners suffer because they had tried to kill your people, so revenge is a dish best served. I don't want to go too much more in depth with this base. It's about right now. It's about as big as I want. It's about as many colonists as I need. Hovering around 12 to 15. Once a base gets bigger than 10, I usually start thinking about how to make a second colony. I'd like to do the whole entire world, so this is going to take a little while. But not that long. I think they fixed it. It's faster than it used to be. So I would normally send out, so normally I kind of make a chain of bases going towards the ship, but in this case, I'm not doing a ship escape. I'm building the ship myself from scratch. But my playstyle is pretty friendly actually to a Bedouin kind of style. These days, not so much because I have so much stuff now. We're so far into the game. So turtling up in this one map, I normally don't do that. I would normally build a U-base around a fertile patch of soil, like I did in this one. You can see this is how I normally do it. I find a fertile patch of soil in the middle, and then I build a U around that, and then I can, if you want, if a toxic fallout happens or something happens, you can just go ahead and close this. Oh, there used to be a door there. I'm glad I caught that. Let's make the door steel this time. But so when the toxic fallout happened, what I did is I just built a couple pillars, or these, in this case, it's not pillars, it's wooden walls. Just a tiny one wall. They act like pillars. And this used to be the pillar before they actually put in. They have real pillars now, actually, which is pretty cool. But they take more. What I didn't understand is they kind of take more. Where are the pillars? Here they are. They take 20 wood as opposed to a wooden wall, which is 5 wood. But I think they're pretty. Does not block sight or movement. Okay, so I can see why they're better. So I could have used pillars instead of wooden walls. This is just sort of my habit. Once you got your pillars up, you can just roof this whole thing off, and then all of a sudden you have an indoor, put some sun lamps in there, and you have an indoor grow area. So your kill box doubles as a grow area in the U-shaped base design. But yeah, I don't know who I'm talking to here. Nobody's watching. So, but it's definitely cool to stream on YouTube. I wanted to check that out. I'm glad I got that. I'm glad to see that it's working. and I know how to do that now. I think the YouTube streaming is going to get more and more popular. All right. Okay, cool. Get rid of some more of these caribou rotting corpses. I thought the yaks would be disintegrated by now, but they're kind of hanging around. I'm thinking maybe I should have just burned them. Also, I still could. I don't know. Just seems like a waste of time. In terms of wildlife, I haven't been messing with the horses too much, but I'd like to see the peasants be able to ride the horses. That would be cool. I'm not sure they can do that yet. Oh, we got a little... Oh, it looks like that person... Well, they really lost their head. For me, I like alpacas. That's my early game go-to. They're easy to tame, first of all. Let's find an alpaca and look at the stats. So alpacas, this is a baby alpaca, 9 days old. They're easy to tame. Minimum handling skill, that's how you can tell. So when it's 1, then pretty much anybody can tame them. And they will. Like someone with horrible taming will tame an alpaca. It will happen. And they make a good meat shield. So let's compare to the ibex. The ibex requires a minimum handling skill of 5. So that's quite more difficult. And what else? Minimum handling skill of 5. The muffalo, right? So the muffalo are the other one that I like to get. They're the same as the ibex. The thing that's better about the muffalo as opposed to the ibex, though, is that they're way stronger. First of all, tank-wise, they can take way more of a beating. So they're good for meat shield defenses. But melee DPS 3.1 versus the ibex, which is 2.4. So muffalo more damage per second. Megasloth I think has even better, 6 something. But the Megasloth minimum handling requirement 10. So you need a guy who's really good at animals to get a Megasloth, and they break easier. You can see that by this metric here, 10% break chance, but the muffalo 2% break chance, and the alpaca is even better. The alpaca 0% break chance. See that? So a couple animals, no matter what you do, whether you shoot at them a bunch of times or you try and fail to tame them, they won't break and attack you. And that includes the alpaca, the deer, and the gazelle. Those are the 3 that I've found that have 0% here. So you can always hunt. Oh, look, a hare too. Didn't know that. So a hare also won't attack you. Let's see how easy it is to tame a bunny rabbit. 7, so it's harder to tame a bunny rabbit. Harder to tame a bunny rabbit than a muffalo. So you can kind of, by looking at those stats, you can kind of see which ones are good. Muffalo and alpaca are also really good because they grow wool that you can shear. So alpaca wool right here. Alpaca wool is actually pretty valuable in this game. 2.7. We were looking, let's compare to the muffalo fur. Or the muffalo wool. Let's see, where's some muffalo wool? Bet you I can find some around here somewhere. Maybe I don't have any muffalo wool. Weird. I've muffalos. I should have. Here's some. Muffalo wool is worth. Oh, so it's worth the same amount as the 2.7. Alpaca wool 2.7. Sheep are new. They've added sheep. There are mods that add a bunch of animals to the game, and those mods are pretty sweet. I don't use those mods right now. I have used them before. They're really good. There's one for each different biome too, which is really cool. So you'll get your bisons and I forget, there's a lot of them. But as soon as this game added ducks, I was like, well, that's a wrap for me. I don't need anything else. I'm good. Give me some ducks. I'm good. So let's look around. Scorpion is still in the daze. Oh, Scorpion, I think she's addicted to Psychite, so that's going to be an issue. I wonder if they all are. No. Trotrone is not. So that's a little bit annoying. We did know that, actually. Oh, hypothermia, okay. Didn't see that. Okay. That is not good. I didn't think about that. So I guess we can build another heater. Wouldn't be the end of the world. So here's a natural spot. There's a vent right here, so whatever this gets heated up to, this will get heated up to that too. If I've noticed one thing that's new, or I didn't notice it before, it's just really, really cool, is that these machines put off heat. So you can see this this room is at 43 and this room's at 39. This room 38. So this room's hotter because it has the chem fuel generators. And I'm not sure if comms console heats things up, but I know these two definitely do. And batteries probably do too. So 38 versus 46. See what I'm saying? Because this one has 2 batteries. And it also doesn't... Well, there could be several reasons. Also, this one has more doors leading to outside, so this room's going to be colder anyway, because of all the wind rushing underneath the door. So, there's that. It is known.
No dragon. Brave men kill them.
It is known.
It is known.
Is known.
Moon is goddess, wife of sun. It is known.
It is known.
Alright, nice. So I'm not sure what else we can do right now. Things are humming along pretty well. We almost have our power back. Cold snap over. Alright, that's good news. Ooh, animal starvation. That's not good. So that shouldn't be a problem, actually. I'm wondering what's wrong here. They should be able to get in here, but they can't for some reason. I'm trying to figure out what that reason is. They should be able to get here. Not sure why they're starving. Maybe we'll put them on a different thing, and then we'll... This is odd. There's something wrong that I can't quite place. So they should be able to get over here. Let's see, is this hen at least eating? Yes. Wondering if they can't get there for some reason. I must have deleted something. Oh well. They'll just have to die, I guess. Maybe he's gonna go eat something. kind of worried about this. I'm not sure why they're all starving. It's kind of weird. They really don't have to be. I have all this hay grass. I know that chickens definitely eat hay grass. I'm not sure why they're hanging out here. There's something weird going on that I don't quite understand. What if we expanded this to include these? See, this is different behavior. See, they're rushing now. It's because this just got unticked. But why don't they eat the hay? Oh no, they're going to sleep, I guess. Weird. Don't really understand. But we have too many animals anyway. So, a culling is in order. Very nice. That does it for the hour I was trying to do. Very nice. Okay, I think I'm going to end it here. That was a good hour. It works. We know it works. We can figure out how that went. So you guys, peace out. It's Woodsman the Peasant. Thanks so much for watching. I'm going to be streaming on Twitch and stuff. And yeah, you guys stay classy. Remember to speak softly and always carry a big dream, baby. 1.